that you actually just had to sort of be blown away by it. How bad could that be? So I'm inviting you in the new year to be blown away by good. To take the brakes off. To let it in. To let it in. Now that's easier for me to stand up here and talk about than it is necessarily for us to do, because it means that certain assumptions of ours that are very dear to us have to fall away. Anybody in here like to be right? Or, let me put it a different way. Does anybody in here like to be wrong? How many people like to be wrong? Not too many. But what if the trade-off for having had a wrong belief and letting yourself be wrong is an abundance of good? Could we be willing to volunteer to be wrong for that? Okay, yes, go for it. Let me be as wrong as I can be so that I can see that I'm that wrong and I can let that much good into my life. You know what happens when you let that much good into your life? When you are so full of good that you don't know what to do with yourself, it overflows. It overflows into other lives, into other people, into other expressions, and the good keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So we have an invitation and, in a sense, a responsibility to expand our capacity to receive good so that we can be an even bigger and better blessing to the world than we have been up until now. Are you with me on this? I see a lot of nodding out there. You don't seem to be dozing off. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. There is, in the gospel, or in the Bible, there is the phrase, "Be still and know that I am God." Be still and know that I am God. I think that the only way that we can become aware of the presence of God where we are is to get still. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are other ways, too, that are just as effective. But I think that a lot of the activity that we engage in becomes distraction. This morning, when we prepared for the morning meditation, I said, could we see if this morning we could be distracted by God? If the presence of God, the experience of the presence of God could be so compelling that we're actually distracted from what we're worried about. We can't quite keep our attention on what we're worried about because we're so distracted by the presence of God. Wouldn't that be a good thing? And I was remembering, as I was thinking about, be still and know that I am God. When I was a little kid, I talked a lot then too. And sometimes it was enough. My mother had taken all she could take, and she would say to me, keep still. And she didn't mean stop moving. She meant be quiet. Be still. Stop talking. But be still also means stop moving. Be still. Stop moving. Stop talking. Stop mind chattering. Just stop. Be still. Make space to experience something else, to hear something more. Stop the distractions. Stop the running away from. So many times when we're distracting ourselves and we're running away, we think we're running away from discomfort, from pain, from hurt, from whatever it is. But if we're still long enough, we discover that when we get through a bit of that discomfort, underneath it, there is this well. And the well, the deep well of being, is entering into the experience of the presence. Whatever that one is, whatever that one is. When we were up in Bellingham with Luke and Tina and Toby at Christmas time, my grandson has started eating solid food now. Did I tell you this before? No. Usually when we begin to feed a new baby, the first food we give them is rice cereal. At least that's been the tradition. So they tried Toby on rice cereal, but it didn't go over well. Luke said, no, he wrinkled up his face and gagged. Not good. So they talked to the pediatrician who said, well, try them on vegetables. Maybe it's a flavor thing. Carrots. What a revelation. We love carrots. Well, we got to be there for the first encounter with sweet potatoes. And the experience of entering into sheer joy was so delightful to do that with him. And I took a little video of it, because it's amazing how much sweet potato can appear on the face of one who is learning to eat it. And the joy of engaging with his father in this process of eating, and of experiencing the sweet potato for the first time, and of taking delight in all of us watching and laughing so much. Who thought a meal could be so much fun? Who thought a 6-month-old could be so completely entertaining? He was, at every moment, at one with his experience of the moment. There was no separation from us, from the sweet potato, or from the moment. It was all one experience of delight. Get that image in your minds, because what I want to do is, in this January series, as we're looking at the basic principles of science of mind, I want to invite you to keep that image in your mind of someone so immersed in the moment with delight, engaged with those around him, and experiencing the flavor of the moment so completely. That is living in the presence. That is a moment of knowing who we are. Now, babies don't have an awareness of you and me so much at that age. It's all one for them. In a way, we might say they're wiser than we are. They haven't yet engaged in this illusion of separation. But in order to live our lives as human beings on the planet and do what we came here to do, we have to jump into the illusion. But it doesn't mean we have to stay there all the time. Isn't it interesting to think about the possibility of living in the illusion with the vision of unity, of oneness? To look at other people through the lens of, oh, there I am. Oh, there I am. I'm sorry that Heidi Petrozetti isn't here this morning. She told us a story about her youngest daughter that I hope she won't mind me telling you. It was quite delightful. She said that she was in the car with the girls, and the younger one is very imaginative, and she looks at things out in the world, and she'll say, that's me. That's me. Whatever she sees out there, she'll say, that's me. And her older sister, you know, is disgusted. So, they were in the car one day on their way to somewhere, and the little one looked out the window and she saw a flock of birds, or a bird, I guess, in the sky going by. And she said, that's me. And her sister said, that can't be you. You're here sitting in the car. That's a bird up in the sky over there. She said, the little one turned to her sister and she went, tweet, tweet. You never know who might be sitting beside you. There's another image for you. I want to invite you to take those in and imagine them as your experience in your life right now. That you enter into and engage in the moment with joy and delight in tasting it, experiencing it with others. That what you look at in the world you recognize as you. All of it as the presence of God. All of it included in the one, the whole, the unity. We are in that presence right here. And that presence is in us. And it is us. We talk about entering into the presence of God. It's silly. You can't get out. And if you could, where would you go? There's no place to go. This is the only game there is. Let us play it with some joy this year. Namaste.